Hello and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be discussing, is Anthony Joshua a favourite to beat Tyson Fury? It's been a question that I've seen a lot online since the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk fight last week. Let's break down and see, what happened. A lot of people are, just because Tyson Fury was hurt in round 9, they're forgetting actually that Tyson Fury did put in a good performance against Alexander Usyk. He actually had him in a lot more trouble than Joshua did across, 24 rounds in the 12 rounds that they fought. But ultimately, the viral moment in the Usyk versus Fury fight was that round 9, and Fury was all over the place and he was on skates. Obviously, Joshua didn't have that in the Usyk fights. So that's kind of probably where people are jumping to these conclusions. But I'll start off straight off the bat. I believe Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua. I'll give him a reasoning in this video as to why I think that. First off, I think whether we see this fight purely depends on the result in the rematch of Fury and Usyk. I believe if Usyk beats Tyson Fury in the rematch, that Tyson Fury will retire. However, I believe that if Tyson Fury can beat Usyk in the rematch, the Joshua fight's bigger than it's ever been. And Turkey Al-Sheikh has said that he wants to make that one happen in the first quarter of 2025. So that should be there and ready for the making if Fury can get that one back over Usyk towards the end of this year. But, there's been a lot of talk about it. I believe personally that Fury still has enough in the tank to beat Joshua. I know he hasn't lived the life. He can come in fleshy sometimes. He fights to the level of his opposition. Absolutely all these things are true. But people need to remember that, Tyson Fury was dominating through those middle rounds of the Usyk fight. He stung him twice in the 6th round. He was showboating a little bit. He got a little bit too comfortable, in my opinion. And Usyk obviously broke his nose in round 8 and then had the onslaught in round 9 and, just kind of took over from there, really. But I think Fury was a victim of his own success almost, started to really get comfortable, started to really admire his work. And you can't do that against someone of Usyk's ability. One of Tyson Fury's best assets and why he won the Wilder fights, so good at using his size, so good at using his weight. But Usyk's pressure and footwork just didn't allow Tyson Fury to do that. In the Joshua fights, they were a lot more reserved. Usyk had Joshua going towards the end of the first fight. The second fight was a little bit more stale, which rematches can be. But for me, Tyson Fury would be able to use his size on Joshua. I know there's not that much of a size difference between them, but Joshua doesn't have that footwork of Alexander Usyk. He doesn't have the style of pressure that Alexander Usyk was able to put on Tyson Fury. Fury would be able to escape the traps, be able to, outbox Joshua, in my opinion. I think Fury would win it on points. I don't think he would stop Joshua. I think Joshua's actually a lot tougher than people give him credit for as well. But, obviously AJ's looked good since linking up with Ben Davison, the former trainer of Tyson Fury, ironically. But let's just remember the level of opposition that he's fought. Obviously he went to Derek James and he fought, Jermaine Franklin, and then he went after that and knocked out Robert Helenius. Didn't look great for the first little while of that, but caught him with a one-punch knockout, which, looked great. Then he obviously made the move to Ben Davison, fought Otto Wallin, obviously a common opponent of Tyson Fury. Fury didn't look great in that, but people then seem to forget that he went and absolutely destroyed Deontay Wilder about 4 or 5 months after that. Again, Fury fighting to the level of his opposition. Joshua looked good in the Wallin fight, and that was a good performance and a good win. And then obviously he fought the Ngannou fight, another common opponent of Tyson Fury. You saw the difference in Fury's performance in the Ngannou fight and the Usyk fight. A lot of people just jumping straight off the Fury bandwagon because he lost to a generational talent and the best heavyweight of this era right now, Alexander Usyk. But Fury had a lot more success than many other people have had against Usyk. But ultimately, people have jumped off the Fury bandwagon now because he lost. In my opinion, based on that, based on the footwork, based on performances, based on the way Fury fights versus the level of his opposition, I would have him beating Anthony Joshua. I'm not saying that Joshua can't win and Joshua won't win. It's going to be interesting to see AJ's next move now, because I believe he's going to fight the winner of Dubois Hrgovic if they can get IBF honours on the line for that at Wembley in September. But I'd be interested to know in the comments. Let me know who you think would win between AJ and Fury, because that debate's been raging really since the Usyk fight. But in my opinion, and I'm not being biased to Tyson Fury here. I actually believe that his stock rose from the Usyk fight. You know, he showed tremendous grit, tremendous heart. He showed what a great boxer he is in those middle rounds. You know, no one really runs over Usyk and dominates him the way that Tyson Fury was. I'd love to have seen him go for it a bit more, but I think he was just so aware and switched on that Usyk can just do effectively what he did in round 9. But he did have Usyk going at moments during those mid rounds, you know, something that Joshua definitely didn't have in the fight today. For I know people's methodology behind it is AJ's improved under Ben Davison, which it looks like he has, granted, definitely. But I don't believe that just because Tyson Fury lost to Alexander Usyk, all of a sudden now, AJ knocked Fury out, you know, it's very fickle boxing. You know, if Fury then goes and beats Usyk in the rematch, he's a huge favorite against Joshua. You know, styles make fights. You know, boxing math doesn't always necessarily work. You know, one can beat one can beat the other. You know, look at the Tim Tszyu Fundora situation. You know, they had common opponents, Brian Mendoza. You know, one of them won the other, one won the other, one won the other. You know, these triangles happen all the time. Styles make fights. So, yeah, for me, at the minute, I still would back Tyson Fury to win that, but I would be really interested to hear the thoughts of everybody. You know, I know that there's comments going around that Fury's shot and, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm not buying into that right now. But, yeah, let's hope we actually get this fight. You know, we all want to see it. You know, it's all British dust up. You know, it has to happen at Wembley. You know, whether it's a Riyadh season card, that's completely fine, but it has to happen in the UK. I don't think it would, if I'm being honest, but, you know, that's one for the UK fans. You know, it's still arguably the biggest fight in boxing right now. It's incredibly subjective. It gets people talking, and ultimately that brings new eyeballs to the sport. That's what we all watch it for. But yeah, let me know, and thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.